was kind of house parties. So I learned mostly house parties in some clubs under the eye of Amy going, Mira, no, stop voguing. And I'm like, well, girl, I paid like $15 to get in here. You telling me I can't vogue? Hello, God. Like, I didn't get it. I didn't understand. I was like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? So that was kind of how that went. But it was a fun time, and I still love it. It's just that everything has changed, and there's a rift. I see there's a rift, kind of like politically. We have people that are older than me, people that are my age, and people that are younger that are dealing with the ballroom scene, but there's no form of respect within the three. Everyone is saying, well, they're the young ones, and the young ones got to listen, but then at the same time, you can't speak to someone at 16 or 17 through how means in a crooked way. So you have to speak to them as if you want to be spoken to the same exact respectful way. So it's not that you're putting yourself down. There's no form of putting yourself down when the person you're trying to train or incorporate in your house. You're trying to train them and teach them that I'm older than you. You should know this. If you can't see me, then I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to let you, touch my face. See that you know that I'm older than you. But it's a risk because it's like, well, I'm an elder, but, and all this cursing, and I'm like, well, what's going on? I'm like, so that's how you start your sentence? You need to live for me, but you don't support me? And then the young kids are giving, I don't know who you are, so who cares about your old name? We are the new incoming, so you need to live for us. So there's a lot of look at going back and forth, not just sitting down and going, well, you would respect your mother, but then you have to understand, a lot of these people are not going to respect you. They don't have someplace to go called home. Some. So if you don't have training, because it's training, if you don't have a form of, and this is how I see it, if you don't have a form of training at home with your abuela, your grandmother, your grandfather, and you're kicked out at the age of 13 because you're gay, and you have to survive in the street, it's really hard for you to look at somebody that is the same age as your mother that kicked you out last week and give respect. So mentally, people that are older should kind of embrace what these young people are going through. So if you want to get involved with the young kids, then you need to really get involved with them, and you need to sit down, stifle yourself, don't be an asinine, and really listen to where they're coming from. But at the same time, you can't let somebody spit in your face. I got you. If you can't deal with it, you walk away. That means it's not for you. Yeah. But there has to be some form of compromise, and there's none. There's none. That's why a lot of people my age and people that are older, and this is from the elders, don't want to come out into a ball and because there's a fight or because there's reading. You want to, you did your dues. They did. I didn't say I did. They did. And again, somebody said that I was trying to give myself life. No, they did. They were, they did their dues. Give them their props. You can learn from them. The reason that you're in the house is because of them. But it goes both ways. And just to make clear, so everyone understands, I never called myself a legend. I never needed to call myself a legend. I was a statement. And the reason I was a statement, because in 1993, Shade Festival, which was Hector Extravaganza and also Chanel threw a ball at the Mark Ballroom. And it was Kenny Ebony on the mic that wanted me to walk and present myself, star, legend statements, and all that, and fabulousness. And he says, he says statements. He said up and coming for someone else, and he said statement, Julian Milan. So at the age of 19, I was a statement. At the age of 19. Yeah, so, and then I left at the age of 21. So I never became a legend, not because it wasn't over for me, not because I wasn't able to win balls or I was getting chopped. I wasn't around. You had to find me in Brooklyn. I left the scene. Okay. I'm sorry, for like 10 years. So I left as a statement, which is a title, and I was happy, and I was voguing since 1987, and I walked my first ball 89, 90, and I was not a 90s child, because it's kind of impossible if I was pumping if I left at 93.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you thinking about walking again or no?
No!
You know how to make the girls gag.
No, I can't do half the stuff I used to do when I was a kid. I can't. Oh no, I can teach you. Okay. I can teach you, and I can take 3, glasses of wine, and I'm feeling bien, Guadalupe, but I can't do. And then I won't put and I'm not gonna put my face on the floor. I was doing that I was working with my daughter, Valerie, Prodigy 007 now, and we were doing a rehearsal. We were just, voguing, and we worked together. and we had to do a floor dip, a neck dip. So she was like, what's a dip? And I was showing her, and she was like, I said, it's a boy dip. So the kids around were like, Julian, do it for her. I was like, I'm not putting my face on the floor. And I was like, that was when I was a kid, I didn't care. I had acne. And I was like, so since I had acne, I didn't care. And I was like, I'm 43, my skin no more. I was like, in 1993 and 1987, the floor was much different than 2015. I don't know what you have on the floor. And I was like, me put my face on the floor to do a dip? No. You gotta pay me.
One chop.
Yeah, you gotta pay me. So no, me no walking. Me no walk no more. Me train people. Also shout out to, because she's giving me shout outs as well. She was my granddaughter when I had my house de la Blanca. And now she became my sister a couple of months ago by my father, Hector Extravaganza, Kia La Beja. So Kia La Beja is another student of mine that has turned out and has done her own thing. Like, I love her with all my heart. She is a precious individual. People, please, if you see her, give her a hug, support her, see her when she walks, claps, give your claps and do what you have to do, because she's really a student and someone that really incorporates voguing in the ballroom scene and also understands, and she has total respect for the gay community and the community in general. So she was one of the people that I had taught voguing, and she had mentioned that, and I want to just say that I thank her very much for doing that, because she didn't need to. But that's how special she is. That she was, someone asked her a question, and they were like, who taught you? She was, well, I've been seeing voguing, but who taught me was, and then Mama mentioned every single name that I was in a house of, which was embarrassing, and then I was like, oh, you didn't need to mention all the names. No, because Mama came out, she was like, Julián Magnifique, Milan, Ninja, blah, blah. I was like, girl. And then she mentioned two other ones, and I was like, I don't even put the other one. I was a latex for a month. So she was like, I was like, girl, you didn't need to. I was like, you didn't need to. I was like, I was a latex when latex first kind of, when they, I think they had their first ball at the Mock Ballroom. And again, that Mock Ballroom is quite legendary for Julian never being there. I was there quite a lot. Throw that in the air.
That's right, because there was a little post on Facebook earlier. There was
a post on this media website called Facebook. Ooh. And if you guys don't know what it is, it's all about your face, and you put it in a book and you steal it. Ooh. And that's how we're going to do it. It was mentioned that it was a lot of stuff which I don't understand, and this is one thing that I had a problem with when I was a kid. What was it was just so phenomenal for me that I would hang out with certain people in the ballroom community, and I thought they were, men that were of color. I thought they were black guys, and then all of a sudden, I would say something that would be fierce about somebody when they would pass by, and they would understand because I was saying it in Spanish. But the thing is that they were saying it in fluent their country. Now, someone that I thought that was African American is telling me, no, yo soy from Colombia, and I'm like, well, no, yo soy from Panama, and I'm like, wait a minute, but why are you not telling people that you're from these Latin countries? I'm like, because if we tell them and they know that we're Latinos, we won't get our tens across the board. And I was like, I didn't understand that. I was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, well, you guys have faith and you're beautiful. And they're like, no, Julian. And then the accent will come out. They're like, no, sorry, yo soy Latino. But in the ballroom community, whatever they want me to do, because I need to snatch the tens. And they were all like two-faced kids. But I didn't get it until they threw that at me. Somebody said something to me, and I'm like, well, I'm half black. I'm Puerto Rican. My mother's Puerto Rican, and my father is Black American from North Carolina. And that's Southern. That's giving you roots, honey. And they're like, no, they see you as a Latino. And I was like, I said, well, I know I'm Latino, because I consider myself to be a man of color. Yes, of course, it's obvious I live. But in general, you're soy Latino. I'm a Puerto Rican man of color. And they're like, no, they only see you as Latino. I'm like, with the last name Cooper? Really? I was all right. Because everybody knows. The catch in the gagger is that in the ballroom scene, people didn't call me by Julian. They would call me by Julian Cooper and then my house. So they knew who I was. Mind you, back then there was no social media, so that means you were in my business. For now, 1990 and 2015, for you to forget me. Right. Okay. And so I was mentioned dealing with my color, light skin, Latino, and that we are not, again, some people feel that we're not a part of the community. We were not a staple of the community. That we were not, a melting pot within the ballroom community. And I'm like, well, did you kind of like do a DNA test on everybody that was in there? Because some of those people that were either dark, light, or mixed were from an island called Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Colombia, something like that. And I was like, did you know this back then? Because they're saying that some people say that everyone that started was black. And I'm like, really? Because I know the House of Film was there, and I remember the house. I remember some of them. They didn't look black to me, and I was like, wait a minute, there's a house called Extravaganza.
Patricia Fields.
No, it wasn't. That's the Gaga.
Amanda.
You know, that's what I'm saying. They weren't. You know, they were in the ballroom scene fiercely, and they were in the ballroom scene in the '80s, not in the 2000s, in the '80s. And I'm like, the Fields were there, the House of Extravaganza. Please, I'm sorry, I don't remember if it's 1981 father, or if it was 1982 that the house was established, and he was one of the founding members. So 1981, right, is maybe when the House of Extravaganza existed. Congratulations, and I lived. This person stated on Facebook that they came out in 1984. So, for how many years were Latinos in the ballroom scene before you decided to pump? So I don't understand how this confusion is, that you're saying that there wasn't a contribution and there wasn't someone that actually was giving into the ballroom community. Well, in 1981, there was a house that was there before you even came out. But they're throwing shade at me for some reason. And it was a biblical. It was so fabulous. The words were big and they were in cap letters. There was commas, exclamation mark. It was over. And my name was mentioned 4 times, I think 5. And I was like, what is this? Mind you, I'm doing this on a treadmill, like I told you guys. I'm at the gym.
Yes, I'm back.
My phone was not supposed to give me any form of notifications, and I'm just getting, it was vibrating and skipping my music. So Pandora's going beep, 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 beep. And I'm like, what's going on? And I'm looking, and I'm like, wait, I'm tagged by Danny. I'm like, what's going on here? And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, this is too long. Oh, my God. Because you feel that you want to discredit a picture and say that that was a club. That wasn't what club that you know that you go to that when you're voting the lights are on? I don't remember a club like that. You know, and it's like you see panels, you see judges' panels, you see everyone on the spot on their tables. It's the mock ballroom on 14th Street Union Square that now is no longer a ballroom situation, but it's still the mock ballroom. You're saying that the picture itself is not from the mock ballroom. Really? Like, you go that deep? Like, for what reason? For what reason? So who cares if I started in 1990 and I vote? Why does it bother you? And it's not that it just bothered you. If anybody that's listening wants to know what this person stated, just go to Dan, just go online. And you will see this long, it's very geisha, long story of why the ballroom community was not something dealing with Latinos, people that are white, people that are light-skinned. It had nothing to do with pop, dip, and spin, and give me a dip. Nothing. Had nothing to do with anything. So it was kind of discouraging. But at the same time, it had nothing to do with, you guys. So I was like, I'm going to just keep on, I'm going to do what I have to do. I have an appointment at 10 o'clock, and I'm going to express myself as much as I possibly can. So that's kind of how that happened.
All right.
I mean, that's kind of how that went. But,
How do you feel about ballroom today?
I don't know anything about the ballroom today in general, because I only have the feelings from, maybe 2000 and... if I have no words, mind you, I've been talking and I haven't stopped. I was breathing, and now I can't say anything. I mean, does that tell you? No puedo. It's just not. It's all divided. It has nothing to do with Latino and Black. Everyone's divided. Everyone. If you're Asian, and if you're European, and if you're Latino, or if you're African American, or if you're Black, or if you're Black American, if you're politically correct American, it's just an issue. Is an issue which I just don't understand why is it an issue when it's a beautiful art form. It's an incredible expression of one's spirit, one's gift, one's identity as an individual, while at that platform when you're dancing and you're in a certain plateau, for me spiritually I'm connected. So I don't understand why you're trying to take me off of my connection. Where are you feeling? Where is your path? So for you to throw daggers at somebody, me or anyone else, while they're performing, when you're competing, the word